Wednesday Season 2 Part 2 is now officially out, and I thought it was significantly better than Season 1, so let's talk about it. And like I just mentioned, this is better than Part 1. Mostly because Part 1 is all the setup for the season. When I reviewed Part 1, it was pretty hard to review it because we only have the first 4 episodes that were mainly just setup. Everything we get this time around is payoff to all that setup, which is why it works way better than Part 1 did. Technically, this is one full season, but they were released in Part 1 and Part 2, and that just felt like the incorrect way to release these, because it's the full season and it's really meant to be binged all together, not split in 4 and split in 4 again, because you have all the setup here, all the payoff here. It just feels completely different. So they really should have just released it all together. It would have really flowed nicer when watching it. But other than the setup, all the payoff is really satisfying. There's a lot of twists and turns in here that really got me on the edge of my seat. Because the entire season, they just really built out this villain. They built up all this setup. So when all that payoff happens, it's satisfying. Because we spent all this time building it up. So twists and turns, end of character arcs, they're all satisfying because we spent all this time building it up. I kind of hinted this in my Part 1 review, but the family dynamic is the main focus point of this season. The themes revolve around the family dynamic, the character arcs revolve around the family dynamic, and that's only what makes this season better than the first season. I'm not saying the overall season is, but I'm saying this one element alone is what makes it stand out more than Season 1, because this time we're adding in that family dynamic. We're focusing a lot more on the other Addams Family members besides Wednesday. And that's what worked really well about this season, is that family dynamic. We get conflicts between Wednesday and her mom. We get conflicts between the brother and the dad. All these different characters have all these different stories going on, and that's what works really well about this season. And thanks to that, a lot of the character arcs in here are a lot stronger. Because it's more family-centric, that's kind of a theme that really connects to anyone. So having a family-related theme in there just works better. And like I mentioned before, all the setup in Part 1 is now paid off in here. You saw where everything was going, so it just all clicks in more. And I'm sure if I do rewatch Season 2, watching Part 1 and Part 2 back to back will be the ideal way to watch this season. It doesn't really seem like it was supposed to cut off right there, because all the setups there, all the payoffs here, it's just kind of a weird gap in between. But if you do watch them back to back, Part 2 is easily the superior part than Part 1. Just because it's all that payoff that you want to see, not just the setup. But real quick, if you want to help me reach my goal of 1K by the end of the year, consider subscribing. Let's continue. And I had this problem with Season 1 and Part 1, but the show is slow. They did fix the pacing a bit in Season 2. It's not as slow as it was for Season 1. But even when watching Part 2 and Part 1, there were a lot of moments in here where I just thought were slow. Not as badly as Part 1. Part 1, there was a lot of elements where you could have easily cut out. But Part 2 still had a lot of slow moments here and there. Not as much because it's more action-packed. You're more on your toes throughout the entire thing. But just hidden between all that, there are still a lot of slow moments had in here. And there's definitely a better way to tighten the show up a bit so it's not as slow during those bits. And I just think the overall mystery is not as good as Season 1. Season 1 had more of a mystery and you kept guessing on what was going on with the school as Wednesday was figuring it out. This time, it's more of a final battle at the end more than a mystery to get to that point. Sure, there's a bunch of twists and turns on the way to get there, but the overall mystery is not really a mystery. It's more of the journey to get there that's more intriguing than the actual result. And I still think Season 1 was better just because the overall story and mystery was better. But Season 2 still has a lot of great things to offer when it comes to character dynamics and the family theme. Sure, it's not as good as Season 1, but it still has a lot to offer that Season 1 still gave us. This is a great follow-up to Wednesday, and I can't wait to see what they do in Season 3. But anyways, if you like this video, maybe these ones on the side ones you too, like, subscribe, see you guys next time. Goodbye.